The body's been listening long before the mind learned to speak, and within that silence lies a truth most people never notice. Every emotion you feel, every thought that crosses your mind, every quiet whisper of belief you carry is not confined inside you. It travels through you as vibration, as frequency, as invisible sound that your DNA hears. You do not have to try to communicate with the universe because your body already does it on your behalf. DNA is not a silent strand of biology trapped inside the nucleus of your cells. It is a living instrument of perception, a field of light that constantly receives and transmits information between you and everything that exists. When you feel joy, the molecules in your body expand into coherence. When you feel fear, they contract into survival. Each emotion becomes a code that instructs the body on how to shape reality. The universe does not respond to your words, it responds to the energetic tone your DNA translates. Scientists once thought DNA was fixed to frozen script written by ancestry, but modern quantum biology has begun to show that this code is fluid, intelligent, responsive to consciousness. The Russian biophysicist Pop called DNA a light transmitter. Others discovered that strands of DNA emit faint pulses known as biophotons, rhythmic flashes of light that mirror emotional states. When a person is calm, the light flows in smooth patterns. When anxious, it flickers chaotically, as if the inner music has lost its tempo. You are not just surrounded by light, you are built from it, and your DNA sings this light into form every second. Most people move through life unaware that their internal dialogue has biological consequences. The mind complains, the heart tightens, the breath shortens, and this cascade of tension alters the electromagnetic signature of the entire system. DNA is the listener. It records every vibration you emit. It adjusts the geometry of its spiral according to what you repeatedly feel. In moments of peace, the spiral loosens, the code breathes. In moments of fear, it constricts, protecting but also limiting you. What you call emotion is not only a psychological reaction, it is a field instruction. Every time you fall into despair, your DNA receives that pattern and begins to broadcast it outward, creating experiences that echo that same frequency. The field does not punish, it mirrors. The reflection may come as people events or coincidences, but all of them are translations of the information your body has been sending. Imagine standing in front of a mirror made of energy and realizing that your every heartbeat shapes what the mirror shows. This is how reality functions at the quantum level. The signal of your DNA interacts with the larger quantum field, and the field organizes matter according to resonance. Two frequencies that match always find each other because coherence is the law of the universe. So when you maintain the vibration of gratitude, opportunities aligned with gratitude appear. When you hold fear, circumstances that validate fear emerge. The bridge between the invisible and the visible is not luck or destiny, it is biology communicating with consciousness. There is an intelligence inside you, older than thought, one that listens without judgment. It listens to the music of your cells, to the rhythm of your breathing, to the spaces between your words. That listener is your DNA, and it never sleeps. It constantly measures the frequency of your state and tunes your physical reality accordingly. You can see why meditation, silence, and emotional awareness have power. They are not spiritual metaphors. They are tools to stabilize the signal you send. When the mind becomes still, when the heart expands, the noise disappears and the original frequency of your being emerges. The ancient mystics called it light. The modern physicists call it coherence, but both are describing the same event, a human returning to alignment with the quantum field. In that state, DNA begins to vibrate, as it did in its purest form. The photons around it pulse rhythmically. The electromagnetic field of the heart synchronizes with the brain, and a communication line opens between you and the field of creation itself. This is not mysticism, it is structure. Everything that exists vibrates. Every vibration carries information. DNA is the translator between those two worlds. When you speak harshly to yourself, your DNA records that command as distortion. When you speak with love, it records clarity. You are writing genetic music with every emotion. Over time, these emotional patterns create the lens through which you see life. People think awakening is about learning something new, but often it is about remembering how to feel. Again, when you allow yourself to feel fully without resistance, you send a pure signal. The field can then respond without interference. Every cell in your body begins to recalibrate because the instructions it receives are coherent. The spiral of life, the sacred geometry of DNA, turns in rhythm with the greater cosmos. You are no longer a fragment trying to survive. You are part of the conversation of the universe. The listener within you and the field around you are one and the same. The more you trust this communication, the more effortless manifestation becomes, because it is no longer a technique, it is biology fulfilling its design. Look at your life now and notice the echoes of your past frequencies. Every relationship, every opportunity, every challenge carries the imprint of the energy you once sent. The purpose of awareness is not to judge those signals, but to understand them. Once you realize that your DNA has always been listening, you begin to choose your tone more carefully. You choose peace, not as a moral ideal, but as a biological necessity. You choose love because it creates coherence in the field. You choose silence because in silence the language of light becomes audible again. The truth is simple and infinite. The universe is not out there. It is inside the strands of light that shape your being, listening, translating, responding. Your DNA is the antenna, the bridge, the silent witness of every frequency you become. And the more consciously you live, the clearer its song becomes, until one day you realize that the music you were trying to hear has always been the sound of your own light. Light is not just what you see, it is what you are made of. Every cell in your body holds a memory of light, and deep inside each cell, your DNA pulses with that same silent rhythm that governs galaxies. Scientists once thought biophotons were a myth, faint traces of random light flickering from living tissue, but the truth is more mysterious. Those flashes are messages. They are the way your cells communicate, how the body maintains coherence, how consciousness whispers into matter. When Fritz Albert Popp first detected this subtle radiation, he called it the language of light. He discovered that healthy cells emitted steady, harmonious light, while stressed or diseased cells flickered irregularly, as if their inner rhythm had been broken. That difference was not just biology, it was vibration. You are a symphony of light signals, constantly interacting with the world around you, and your DNA is the conductor of that invisible orchestra. Every thought sends a vibration that shifts the tone of this light. Gratitude smooths the frequencies, creating waves that synchronize the entire system. Fear disrupts them, scattering photons in confusion. Love aligns anger fragments. It is as if emotion itself paints the internal cosmos in patterns of illumination and shadow. The quality of that light defines the clarity of your connection to the quantum field. When your internal light is scattered, the signal you transmit to the field becomes noisy. When it is coherent, reality mirrors you instantly because the field always follows order. The universe seeks resonance, not chaos. That is why people who live in deep coherence seem to draw synchronicities effortlessly. Their internal light is aligned with the cosmic current, and so events flow toward them in perfect timing. You may have felt moments like that when everything moves with you instead of against you, when thoughts manifest in seconds when you sense that life is listening. In those moments, the light within you is communicating clearly. You have become a transmitter in harmony with creation. The secret is that this is not rare, it is natural. You are meant to live that way. Your DNA was designed to interact with the quantum field as effortlessly as breathing, but generations of stress, fear, and conditioning have clouded the signal. The body forgot the rhythm of light and began to operate in survival mode, reacting instead of creating. That forgetting did not erase your potential, it only dimmed it. The language of light still exists inside you, waiting for you to remember how to speak it again. To speak it, you must feel, not think. Thoughts belong to the realm of logic, but light responds to frequency, and frequency is created by emotion. When you truly feel gratitude, every photon inside you aligns to that vibration. It is measurable, tangible, and profoundly biological. Your electromagnetic field expands the brain and heart, synchronize the DNA helix, literally changes its tension. The pattern of emitted light becomes smooth and radiant. This is what mystics called aura, what scientists call biofield, what the universe calls coherence. It is not imagination, it is resonance. The more often you reach that state, the more your DNA learns the new rhythm. Eventually it stays there even when life feels uncertain. You become a stable signal in a shifting world, and stability is magnetic. The field around you begins to organize itself according to your tone. Circumstances rearrange, people show up, timing aligns, because the outer world cannot resist coherent energy. Everything in existence seeks order, and when you become order, you become the point around which reality organizes. That is the essence of creation. You do not force the field, you tune to it. Your DNA then translates this frequency of light into form, instructing your cells to behave in ways that support the vibration you are holding. The body heals, the mind clears, intuition sharpens, and coincidence becomes communication. It is all one continuum of light, remembering itself through you. Think of every photon inside you as a note in an infinite melody. The universe plays through you, and you can either let the music flow or distort it with resistance. Resistance happens when emotion is suppressed, when light is held back, when you pretend to be calm while your inner current trembles. The light does not lie. It vibrates exactly as you feel. That is why authenticity is power in the quantum field. Pretending creates interference. Honesty restores coherence. The moment you admit your fear but breathe through it with awareness, your light stabilizes. You have converted chaos into order simply by facing yourself. That is how evolution happens inside the body. DNA is not waiting for the next generation to mutate. It is responding now, adapting to the consciousness you embody. The more light you allow through emotion, the faster that evolution occurs. Each coherent feeling rewrites a portion of your genetic music, unlocking codes of intuition, resilience, and sensitivity once thought to belong only to saints or geniuses. They are not gifts, they are frequencies your DNA understands. You are the one who decides how loudly they sing. In the stillness of meditation, the biophotons within you become more organized. The frequency of your heart synchronizes with the brain, forming what scientists call heart-brain coherence. In that moment, the body becomes a single instrument, not a collection of separate parts. The energy field expands meters beyond the skin, connecting directly with the quantum fabric that holds reality together. Every intention released from that state carries power because it rides on the current of ordered light. This is why ancient practices focused on breath and awareness. They were methods to restore the purity of your internal light so that creation could flow through without distortion. The more you practice coherence, the more natural it feels, until one day you realize that peace is not the result of control, but of resonance. Your DNA, your thoughts, your emotions, and the light of the cosmos are playing the same note. In that harmony, fear loses meaning. It cannot exist where light is synchronized. You begin to sense that the language of light never stops speaking. It speaks through the warmth in your chest, when you forgive, through the tingling in your skin, when you align with truth, through the tears that appear without sadness, when you touch something real. Those are the signals of DNA decoding energy into awareness. The body is translating light into feeling and consciousness into form. To live this way is not to escape humanity, but to fulfill it. Every pulse of light from your cells is part of the same song sung by stars. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a continuation of its frequency. When you walk under the night sky, remember that the light above you is the same light inside you, folded into a spiral, listening, translating, responding. The more aware you become of that dialogue, the more luminous your life becomes. Coherence is not something to achieve, it is what happens when you stop interfering with your natural light. You do not need to chase awakening, you only need to stop scattering your photons in 1,000 directions of fear and doubt. Gather them through breath, through stillness, through presence, and let them move as one stream of awareness. Your DNA will hear it immediately. It will shift its rhythm, open its structure, and the light within you will flow freely again. That is the moment when biology turns into luminosity, when science meets spirit. When you remember that the true language of life is light and you were born fluent in it. Reality does not answer to words, it answers to vibration. Every signal you send out becomes a magnetic thread woven into the quantum field, and the field never ignores a signal, it mirrors it. The reflection is not always immediate, but it is always precise. Every feeling, every silent thought, every pulse of emotion that travels through your body is recorded as frequency, and the universe responds to that frequency with mathematical accuracy. What you call coincidence is the physics of resonance unfolding around you. When fear becomes your constant tone, DNA transmits that pattern like a radio frequency. The molecules in your body tighten, preparing for threat, and that tension emits a specific electromagnetic signature. The field reads it as a command and sends back experiences that match the vibration of danger. That is why people who live in chronic worry often attract circumstances that confirm their fears. It is not punishment, it is coherence. The field must remain consistent with the signals it receives. The opposite is also true. When your state of being radiates, trust the same field reorganizes matter to support it. DNA expands, cellular light increases the heart, generates a strong harmonic field, and life rearranges itself to mirror that coherence. Reality does not happen to you, it happens through you, translated by the electromagnetic dialogue between your DNA and the quantum field. This interaction is constant even when you are not aware of it. Each moment is a transmission, each emotion a frequency code, and the body is the transmitter. This is why awareness is not philosophy, it is technology. When you become aware of what you are feeling, you regain access to the control panel of creation. Awareness allows you to adjust the signal before it becomes a physical event. You begin to realize that every external situation is a feedback loop of your internal vibration. The people who frustrate you, the delays that test your patience, the opportunities that appear out of nowhere, all are mirrors. If you respond with resistance, the signal distorts and repeats until it is understood. When you respond with acceptance, the pattern resolves, the lesson completes, and the frequency evolves. This process is the architecture of the field. It has no morality, only reflection. The field mirrors your dominant state, not your occasional wish. A moment of positive thinking cannot override hours of emotional contradiction. DNA listens to the overall tone, the accumulated vibration that defines your baseline frequency. You may speak about abundance while your heart vibrates in fear of loss, and the field will respond to fear not to words. That is why inner coherence is more powerful than any affirmation. The universe speaks in energy, not language. It hears what your DNA emits, not what your lips declare. The mind may lie, but the body never does. It tells the truth through every heartbeat, every breath, every subtle change in rhythm. When those rhythms are out of harmony, the electromagnetic field around you becomes fragmented, and so does your experience. But when they synchronize, the field regains order, and order attracts order. You can feel it when this happens. Life suddenly feels smoother. People treat you differently. The same world seems to operate by different rules. Nothing external has changed. Only your signal has. You have entered coherence with the field. In that coherence, DNA no longer hides behind survival codes. It begins to unlock sequences that were dormant potentials that respond to higher frequencies. Those are not abstract ideas. They are measurable biological changes. Your immune system strengthens, your brain waves stabilize, your intuition heightens, because all systems of the body are following the same vibration. You are becoming an orchestra that has found its tempo again. The difference between chaos and harmony is the quality of your signal. This is why the simplest acts carry so much power. A slow breath, a moment of gratitude, a thought of kindness, all recalibrate the electromagnetic rhythm. Your DNA translates into light. The field detects the change instantly. It begins to realign probabilities around you to fit the new vibration. What you once called miracles are simply results of consistent coherence. When coherence becomes your habit, manifestation ceases to be effort. You are no longer asking the universe for things. You are radiating the vibration that makes them inevitable. The field does not resist alignment, it flows toward it. The resistance comes from within, from memories, beliefs, and emotions that hold lower frequencies. They are not enemies. They are parts of you that need integration. Each unresolved emotion is a frequency still broadcasting from the past. To shift your life, you do not have to erase those frequencies. You bring them into coherence by feeling them fully without judgment. The moment emotion is felt completely, it loses distortion and turns into pure energy again. DNA registers this as release. The field registers it as expansion. This is how healing truly happens. It is not a battle against darkness, but a restoration of harmony between your internal frequencies and the light of the field. As coherence grows, the reflection changes. Situations that once triggered you lose their power. People who matched your old vibration drift away, replaced by those who resonate with your new tone. The shift can feel like loss, but it is simply reorganization. The field always chooses harmony. It will not hold patterns that contradict your current signal. Every new level of awareness brings a new set of reflections, and each reflection invites deeper mastery of your frequency. You start noticing how precise the feedback is. A single day of frustration can manifest as small disruptions. A week of gratitude can open doors that logic cannot explain. The connection is direct, not symbolic. The field does not play favorites. It obeys resonance. Understanding this turns life into an art form. You stop reacting to appearances and start adjusting your signal. Instead of asking why something happens, you ask what frequency in you it reflects. The moment you answer honestly, the mirror changes. The field is neutral. It will mirror any tone you maintain. This realization is freedom. It removes blame, fear, and helplessness. It places power back where it always belonged, inside the electromagnetic rhythm of your own body. When you breathe consciously, when you feel truthfully, when you think coherently, your DNA transmits clarity. The field cannot help but respond with clarity. That is how alignment becomes destiny. There is no external power controlling your path, only reflections of the light you project. Every heartbeat sends another message into the quantum sea, and every moment the sea replies with perfect accuracy. The question is not whether the field hears you, it always does. The question is what melody you are sending. The harmony or dissonance of your life is not random, it is the echo of your vibration returning home. Inside every cell of your body lies an instrument far older than your mind, an antenna built from spirals of light. DNA is not only a biological archive, but a living receiver, an exquisite bridge between consciousness and the quantum field. Each of its coils functions like a tuned wire, sensitive to even the faintest changes in electromagnetic resonance. It listens to the music of your emotions, translates it into energy, and then transmits that vibration outward into the field of creation. This is not mysticism, it is the language of life itself. Everything in existence radiates frequency, and all frequencies seek harmony. Your DNA is the meeting point where matter and awareness exchange their codes. When you stand under the sun, photons penetrate your skin, carrying information from the cosmic field directly into your cells. The double helix receives that light and transforms it into biological instruction. But this process is not limited to sunlight. Every thought, every emotional pulse, every subtle intention generates a quantum signal, and your DNA responds. It absorbs the vibration of your state and emits a corresponding pattern of biophotons, creating a feedback loop between your inner world and the invisible fabric of reality. Imagine this antenna as both transmitter and receiver, endlessly adjusting its frequency to maintain resonance with the environment. When you are calm, the signal becomes clear, stable, radiant. When you are afraid, it fragments, producing noise that blurs communication. The universe is not punishing you for fear. It simply mirrors the distortion that your antenna is sending. Your DNA cannot lie. It speaks the language of your current vibration with perfect honesty. The key to transforming your life is not to manipulate events, but to retune the antenna itself. Most people try to change the reflection without altering the signal, and so their lives become cycles of effort and disappointment. But when you shift the inner frequency, the outer reflection must follow, because coherence always organizes matter. To retune the antenna, you do not need complicated rituals, only awareness. Begin with breath, because breath is the manual tuner of the human system. Each slow inhalation sends a wave of electrical balance through the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system and clearing noise from the field. As the body relaxes, the heart's electromagnetic rhythm becomes more coherent, and that rhythm synchronizes with the brain. Once this heart-brain coherence is achieved, the DNA inside each cell receives a new order. The geometry of the helix subtly adjusts, expanding in amplitude, allowing light to flow more freely. Scientists have observed that DNA exposed to coherent emotions such as love or appreciation unwinds slightly, as if opening its spiral to receive more light. Under stress or resentment, the spiral tightens, restricting the passage of photons. This is not metaphor, it is measurable. The antenna either opens or closes depending on the emotional frequency you broadcast. The field around you changes accordingly because it is always entangled with the biological rhythm of your being. To understand this interaction is to understand creation. The quantum field is like an ocean of potential, and your DNA is the vessel that determines which currents you sail. When the antenna vibrates at a high coherent frequency, it connects to timelines of harmony, opportunity, and clarity. When it vibrates chaotically, it links to confusion and conflict. The law is simple but profound. The receiver determines the broadcast it experiences. You are not here to beg the universe for blessings. You are here to emit the frequency that aligns with them. Every cell in your body was designed for that task. Even your skeletal structure, even your water content function as conductors of light. The minerals in your bones form crystalline matrices that enhance signal transmission, while the water within your cells acts as a liquid crystal that stores and amplifies information. The entire human system is a living radio tuned by consciousness. When you feel disconnected or unlucky, you are not being abandoned. Your antenna has simply drifted off frequency. The remedy is always internal alignment, not external control. Bring your attention back to the body, to the subtle sensations beneath emotion. Feel the heartbeat, the breath, the quiet pulse of aliveness. As awareness settles, the noise fades and the antenna realigns itself with the field. You do not have to force anything. The universe is already broadcasting infinite harmony. You only need to become receptive again. The most powerful transmissions occur when the mind is silent and the heart is open. In that space, your DNA becomes transparent to light, acting as a pure channel for the information of creation. You might experience this as sudden intuition, a flash of knowing, or an inexplicable sense of peace. These are signs that the antenna has locked onto a higher signal. What follows is not random coincidence, but resonance taking form. Events align with astonishing precision because your vibration now matches the intelligence of the field. You have stopped being interference and have become instrument. Over time, this tuning becomes natural. The more you sustain coherence, the stronger the antenna grows. You begin to notice that physical energy increases that recovery from stress, quickens, that insights come effortlessly. These are the biological consequences of resonance. DNA now vibrating in harmony with the quantum field generates an internal environment of order. Cells communicate more efficiently, immune functions strengthen, aging slows, and creativity expands. Life feels lighter, not because circumstances change by chance, but because your inner signal no longer resists the flow of the field. You are living from alignment, not effort. Yet alignment does not mean perfection, it means continuous tuning. Every challenge that enters your life is a test of frequency, a chance to refine the signal. When you respond with presence instead of fear, you prove to the field that coherence is your new baseline. The antenna registers that stability and broadens its range, accessing deeper layers of potential. This is how evolution occurs in real time. The expansion of consciousness is the expansion of the body's ability to handle higher frequencies of light. Each wave of awareness upgrades the antenna, enhancing both perception and creation. You start noticing connections that once went unseen, patterns within coincidences, meanings within silence. You realize that intuition is not mysterious, it is reception. The field is constantly transmitting guidance. You simply learn to recognize its signal through the language of subtle sensation. The whisper in your chest, the pull toward a decision, the spark of inspiration are all frequencies interpreted by the antenna of DNA. When you trust those signals, reality bends gracefully around your choices because you are following the path of resonance. And the more you follow it, the more magnetic you become. Others feel it too. Coherence is contagious. The electromagnetic field of a coherent heart can influence other fields within meters in training them into harmony. This is why one calm person can change the energy of an entire room. The antenna of one affects the tuning of many. It is not control, It is physics. In the end, understanding your DNA as an antenna of consciousness transforms how you see life. You stop asking why things happen and start realizing how you broadcast them. You stop chasing signs from the universe and recognize that you are the sign. The field is not outside. It is an extension of your biology, a mirror of your vibration, a canvas painted by your frequency. Every breath you take is another calibration, every emotion another transmission. When you hold love, the antenna glows. When you choose fear, it dims. The universe listens without judgment, echoing back whatever note you play. And when you finally learn to stay in harmony, you discover that creation has never been about striving. It has always been about tuning. You are not trying to reach the light, you are learning to broadcast it. Emotion is the most precise form of energy you will ever generate. It is the interface between thought and biology, the translation of invisible frequency into measurable chemistry. When you feel, your body does not simply react, it transforms. Every emotion releases electromagnetic patterns that ripple through the heart, brain, and DNA, instructing your cells how to behave, how to heal, how to perceive the world around you. Thought alone cannot do this. The universe does not move because of an idea, it moves because of the vibration behind the idea, and that vibration is emotion. You have been taught to control your feelings, to hide them, to intellectualize them, but in truth, emotion is the power that shapes matter. Each time you suppress what you feel, you're interrupting communication between consciousness and the quantum field. The signal weakens, coherence dissolves, and life responds with confusion. The field is always listening, but it listens to energy, not words. A single genuine emotion can accomplish what 100 affirmations cannot. This is why a moment of gratitude can alter the course of a day, why one breath of forgiveness can dissolve years of tension, why love, when it is real, not performed, creates an atmosphere where reality bends to your heart. Emotion is frequency encoded with intention. When you allow yourself to feel fully, your DNA translates that energy into light, and light instructs matter. A wave of appreciation releases coherent photons while resentment scatters them. Your cells do not distinguish between spiritual and physical energy. They respond to vibration. The heart emits the most powerful electromagnetic field of the body, and every heartbeat carries the signature of your emotional state. That rhythm extends meters beyond your skin, interacting with other fields, other hearts, other timelines. When you are angry, you broadcast discord and it finds its echo. When you are compassionate, you broadcast harmony, and the field reshapes itself to sustain that order. What people call karma is often nothing more than resonance returning to its source. Feelings are not private. They are transmissions. To master life, you must master the art of emotional frequency, not through suppression, but through presence. Presence does not mean avoiding emotion. It means inhabiting it without distortion.
And as you reach the final stage of awakening, something extraordinary happens. You stop searching for the field, because you finally realize you are the field. You are the space where thoughts appear, the energy that shapes experience, the silent intelligence that moves everything. When this truth rises within you, fear dissolves, doubt fades, and life stops happening to you. It begins happening through you. This is the moment your reality bends, your frequency expands, and the universe responds to the clarity of your being. So remember, awakening isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you've always been, the limitless field creating every moment of your life.